I can tell you a scenario that happened to me when I first came out on my actual home leave. So I had to go to an AP, obviously. So I'm in this particular area. So I'm walking where the AP is. I'm walking.
Explain what AP is, sorry.
Oh, sorry, approved premises. So I'm walking down the road. There's a group of, I've identified there's a large group of young men, aged between 17 to 20. Obviously, we know, So they're blocking the road. So I can see that even passers-by, they can't really. So I was looking at I had to assess this whole situation. I'm thinking that I am a grown man. So I need to set examples here. I can't have this kind of young mentality. So allow me to give ground. I gave ground. I made myself smaller and I just tried to navigate myself in between. What do you think's happened? So the biggest one who I identified to be the leader, he comes very close, almost touching me. I understood what that was. That was kind of like a declaration already. What he wanted me now to do is just to say one single thing, because remember, I'm observing them, so I'm reading their body language. I know they're carrying. It's clear to see. So if I said something now, I would have ended up a victim. That's the truth. So I just carried on walking. And I said, look at these young men. And it was so heartbreaking as well, because these young men don't even understand the consequences of what they're doing. They're going to throw away their lives. Forget about whatever happens to me. Whatever happens to me, alhamdulillah. But I'm saying that these young men didn't even know that you're going to destroy your life. So imagine if I was foolish enough to say something. Now, when I went back to my DCAT, this is so some of the young men said, "What? Did they know who you are? Oh, you could have done this." I said, "Who am I?" I said, "I'm a slave of Allah. Who am I? I'm nobody." I said, "I'm just a human being. I'm just trying to navigate myself around this world in order to have God's mercy. So who am I really?" And I said, "You know what? The truth be known as well, that I would have ended up a victim, because they carried, no man's a Superman. What would have happened is that yeah, of course.
Yeah, there was only for them.
So it's irrespectively, was I scared? No, I weren't, because look, sometimes when you've been through some horrific things in life as well, it just goes beyond that. But I'm still human. I fear. I feel pain. I've been in my life, I've been a hero, I've been a coward, and I've been a villain. So I understand all this. But it's just so sad seeing our young men as well just throwing away their lives.
Yeah, and they're literally doing it for no reason to each other as well.
Exactly.
Like, we was actually standing on business. Like, we actually, I don't know, like, man would know who you're going for. Nah, they're just going for anyone off that estate, whether or not they're involved or anything. But to
a certain degree as well, I try to be open-minded about this whole kind of situation as well, because you see what I've actually gathered as well. Who do they have to aspire to? Let's be honest here. A lot of guys our age are, let's talk in their language, are washed up. That's the truth. They're either on drugs, the guy in betting shop gambling, they're doing all these things. They're not a role model. They neglect their duties as fathers. So these are some of the things that we need to look within ourselves as well, in our communities as well, and as men our age as well, in our 40s and so forth, and saying that what are we really doing for these young people to aspire them to become better versions of themselves? And we're not doing this. We're falling short collectively.
What do you think about Beat and Teach?
In regards to that, I believe that there needs to be more questions put towards authority and government and things like that, because I know that we're part of a system that they created. Like we said, they navigate you sometimes even to get kicked out of school and so forth.
100%.
Unfortunately, it takes us to reach a certain age before we realise the plan of what had happened. When you're a kid, you don't understand it. We're older. So even like when you said you walked up to the guys, once you go through certain things and you get like PTSD, even if you don't know it, you look at things in hindsight, you can see steps. That's why when you go to certain places, you feel a certain way, you know you're not staying here because you can see, you understand what I'm saying?
Definitely, 100%.
Right. So my thing is this, They created us, and I'm not putting the blame, because I know that us as people can do better, and certain men need to do better. But there's a lot of emphasis on us trying to make better out of something that they created. Do you understand what I'm saying? They didn't do that with their communities, and they didn't do that with their kids' education, but they done it with ours. Do you understand what I'm saying?
100%.
We're a lot of the experiment. And
100%.
then all of a sudden they say, oh, you guys are this, you lot are that, but you lot played a hand in it. Like I said about the education, you lot play a hand in it. Do you understand?
100%.
And you lot try to sabotage loads of boys' destiny. Do you understand? Because in
100%.
prison, we already know there's CEOs in there, there's business owners in there,
101%.
there's community leaders in there, but they
101%.
throw away the key because they don't want us in those positions.
100%.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And that's what we need to target more.
Good one for Black Kings. That was a good one.
No, definitely 100. And so these are some of the reasons.
You're a joker. But it's true though.
These are some of the reasons why that I decided as well to do this podcast. With me, I like to stay in the shadows, but I feel that it's important and it's imperative that I do as well, because you're right. I was amongst some geniuses. I know that we're going to talk further about my incarceration and everything else as well. And
Geniuses.
I'll be honest with you. One of the things that I promised them is that I would become a voice for the voiceless. So I have an obligation as well. And I know that my brothers will expect that from me. There's lots, and there's so many. As you see, like, one of my brothers are here now. And there's so many individuals, great minds, and we're trying to build something, but it's very difficult as well, because obviously we're coming against a lot of roadblocks. And so so I'm feeling what you're saying. I totally understand. I concur with you. Trust me on this. So definitely. So we need to bring this awareness, and hopefully through our collaboration that we can bring this awareness. There's many great minds will blow you away. You won't even remember my name. Put my brother here. Put him on a podcast one day. It'll blow your mind. This is what I'm saying. We need more of a platform. We need more of an opportunity.
Inshallah. So what did you first get nicked for? Sorry, I'm trying to...
Yeah. No, that's okay. Sorry, I've deviated as well. So I apologize.
No, but this is fine. This is RTM. I'm here.
Really the most.
You're rating it now, innit? You can see I've got it covered. You get what I'm saying? I've got it covered. We can bring it back to, you know what I mean? Well,
I think it was what I can recall my memory, because remember, it's been a short. Mine is, I don't have a long, extensive criminal record, because obviously I was incarcerated. So I've got a common assault. I had the ABH, which was at the same time. And then the big one was wound with intent, which I'll explain to you when I was young. So from the age of 13.
13?
Yeah, I've done 5 years.
Really?
At 13?
Yeah, so by 14, yeah. And
So
then I had
security-
I also had attempted robbery, and that was I got concurrent to run with 3.5 years, and that was the Abbey National.
Okay,
So-
going back to the one at 13.
Yeah.
Gave you 5 years.
Yeah, I got 5 years. Yeah.
For what?
They waited though. See, so mine was wounding with intent. So
Or-
basically, yeah, I
At 13, moving.
I stabbed another young man. He's amputated one of his fingers. And so the judge, when I was 15, they sentenced me, and they gave me, yeah, they gave me 5 years for that. On hindsight, it's actually every parent's nightmare.
I'm a madman, I know.
How did that
I'm
affect
thinking
you?
that's the result, innit?
What? Being incarcerated?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me talk you through the process. So it was kind of different because
Open unit. I mean, secure unit.
So what initially happened before that, I went court for an common assault, and I think it was an ABH. And the funny thing about that situation was I was actually friends with the kid. So we actually swapped, like, it was caps. I didn't even rob him. But then they put some kind of story, like if I robbed him. So when I confronted him, obviously I'm angry, I'm young. So I beat him up. And then his cousin, that she lied as well, and I slapped her. And so that's why I actually
Common assault. Yeah, go on. I got one of them still, misogyn.
Yeah.
Misogyn, don't cast up. Common assault.
So basically, that's what, and then what the judge said as well, that I feel, and this is the beginning of the problems as well, that I feel that your parents don't have any control over you. And then I was given social services order. So I ended up in children's home.